If you are watching this, chances are you are either holding an admit from a US MIM program or you are considering applying soon and wondering, should I really spend over $60,000 and on 1 year degree in the US? Will I actually get a job there? Will it be worth the debt? And what happens with visas now that it's mid 2025 and the rules keep changing there? Let's talk about it, because the truth is the US isn't the obvious choice for MIM anymore. But in some cases, it might just give you the best return if you play your cards right. Now, before we dive in, let's get clear on what the US MIM market actually looks like right now. Unlike Europe or the UK, the US doesn't have hundreds of MIM options. You have got a smaller, high-quality list. Schools like Chicago Booth or Georgetown, Boston University, Wake Forest, Fordham, and a few others. These programs are designed for recent graduates, people like you who are coming straight out of undergrad with little or no full-time experience. Most of them do not require the GMAT or GRE, though if you have a strong score, it could definitely help you secure a scholarship. The average student age is around 22 to 24. The degrees are usually 1 year long, fully in person, and packed in a tight business curriculum in under 12 months. Now let's talk about money. Tuition fees in the US vary a lot. Chicago Booth, for example, charges around $68,000 just in tuition. Add student fees, living expenses, healthcare and travel, and your total cost goes above $105,000 for the year. Georgetown's MIM costs over $63,000. Schools like Fordham and Boston University are slightly more affordable, sitting between $50,000 to $65,000. Still, it is a serious financial investment, and unlike the MBA, the MIM does not always come with, hefty joining bonuses or employer-sponsored tuition. But here's the other side of the coin, okay? Starting salaries for US MIM grads have been trending upward, okay? Chicago Booth reported a median salary of $85,000 for US nationals and about $70,000 for international grads. Boston University claims a 96% employment rate within 6 months, and many grads earned $10,000 more than the national average for business master's students. Georgetown places a good number of students into consulting, finance, and big tech roles with salaries in $65,000 to $90,000 range. And let's not forget, this is your first job after undergrad. In many cases, your ROI kicks in within 2 to 3 years, depending on your job, visa, and location. But let's pause here, because none of that matters if you do not get to stay and work in the US. The real game changer for MIM in the US is this: most of these programs are now STEM designated. That means instead of the regular 1 year OPT, you get up to 3 years of post-study work authorization. No H-1B sponsorship needed immediately. This is huge, I know. It gives you 3 recruiting cycles, multiple attempts at the H-1B lottery, and time to prove your value to employers. This makes US MIM a lot more practical in 2025 compared to what it was even 2 years ago. But what about getting hired as an international student? That is where your effort makes or breaks the outcome. Every US school will say they have strong career services. But here's the truth: if you do not start building relationships with employers from day one, if you don't start networking, none of that will matter. You need to show up at every networking session, every employer coffee chat, maybe your career fair and resume review. The good news is that top US MIM programs are well connected. At Booth, students get access to the MBA recruiting platform. Georgetown brings in firms like McKinsey, Goldman Sachs, and Amazon. Boston University helps students get into fintech, healthcare, and data-focused roles. But you have got to hustle to be seen, okay? Now let's zoom out and ask, who should seriously consider MIM in the US right now? If you are a recent engineering or commerce graduate from India and you want to work in North America, maybe in roles like business analytics or consulting or strategy, and you are comfortable investing $60,000 to $100,000 for a fast-paced business degree, this is a solid option, especially if you do not want to wait 3 years to qualify for an MBA. Also, if your long-term goal is to eventually move into an MBA or a second master's, starting with the MIM gives you US work experience, network, and credential that strengthen your profile. Now, what about scholarships? The answer is yes, they do exist still, but they are limited. Both offers financial aid only on request and it's competitive. Georgetown and Fordham have merit-based scholarships that often factor in your GPA, resume, and sometimes even your GMAT score. If you have already gotten admit and did not receive aid, you can still try sending a scholarship appeal mail, especially if your academic record is strong or you have received other admits. We have helped students do this with great success even after the initial deadline, usually. And what about curriculum? Right? Well, most USMIM programs are structured around core business subjects: finance, strategy, marketing, operations, leadership. With the addition of data analytics and a capstone project at Boston University, the program is actually ranked top 5 in the US for early career management education. At Georgetown, you get direct access to industry-focused modules like sustainable business, global consulting, and even fintech. Some schools also let you cross-register into MBA electives, and because most classes are small, under 100 students, you get to build strong faculty and peer relationships. So what is the verdict? MIM in the US in 2025 is no longer a niche option. It's a high investment, high return path for students who are clear on what they want: to live and work in the US, get practical exposure, and build a long-term career foundation. If you are someone who is ready to network hard, use the 3-year window wisely and apply to jobs early, please. This path makes sense, but if you're uncertain about staying in the US or you are hoping that the degree alone will unlock jobs for you without additional effort, then this may not be the right fit. It's not a golden ticket right now. It's an opportunity that needs some strategy and serious hustle. And remember, MIM in the US is still evolving a lot. New programs are launching, employers are learning how to absorb MIM grads, and every year students like you are shaping that trajectory. So if you want to be part of that, go and prepare a little bit, right? If you are still debating whether a US MIM is worth it for your goals, or you want help with last minute scholarship appeals, SOPs, or post-admit planning, book a one-on-one consultation using the link below in the description. We have helped students land admits to Booth, Georgetown, and more with clarity, funding, and a plan, right? And if this gave you clarity, hit like and subscribe. Every week, we post honest, no fluff breakdowns of programs, countries, and career strategy for international students just like you. Let's make smarter decisions together. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.